online auction sites for tax lien sales and adjudication sales in Louisiana. Company started a while back. And I'll kind of follow up on Bob's last comment in the last talk when he talked about the cheerleaders. That is specifically the reason why we came up with the auction process. We started out as a company that was doing the digitization of due process, making sure that all the notifications pre-sale, I'll get into the laws of why that's necessary, but you have to notify everybody pre-sale in Louisiana. We got into that business. And then we had several different taxing authorities say, look, people are showing up, 50 people are showing up these sales, they're sending a lady in a red dress, and the lady in the red dress ultimately wins the right properties, and so it's not fair. Can you do it online to make it more fair? And that's why the process came up. So we're hearing the same things, and that's what we were adding. We're adding an online process that allows all of you to effectively buy and not have to show up at each sale, right? All right, so let's talk about Louisiana in general. If you're from here, you know. If you're not, you know, your probably impression is we do everything differently. We do everything differently. Even our laws, we have Napoleonic code, it's different laws. And one of the main things is we call our counties parishes because, you know, it's a religious state, whatever. So there's 64 parishes and even more.
So we do everything in New Orleans differently. We do everything in New Orleans differently. We even call our territories parishes, and that is Napoleonic law, so it's different. So we go about doing things differently. And because, you know, we are unique in that way. We are unique in the fact that we do things differently. Our laws, according to this attorney, is... a matter of fact, let me see if he's actually an attorney. Let me see if this criminal is actually an attorney. Let's see. This criminal right here. Is he actually an attorney? I don't think he is. I don't think he is, family. I don't think he is. Let's see if him have any. Let's see if he's a member of that private club. You know that club I'm talking about. That club that, you know, you have to be active in good standing to practice law. The Bar Association. Okay. He holds a BA in mass communication from Louisiana State University and an MBA from Yaloya University, where he helps lead the winning team in the national enterprise. Okay, blah, blah, blah. Look, it doesn't even matter, to be honest with you. Doesn't even matter. Doesn't even matter. There's a company here in the territory of New Orleans, Louisiana, by the name of Acorn Information System LLC. Acorn Information System LLC. Originally, they got the authority to conduct business through the Delaware Secretary of State. They are the parent company for CivicSource.com. They are the parent company for CivicSource.com. Now, for those of you who don't know CivicSource, CivicSource claims to be, it's an online platform. It's an online company by which they trade or they auction / sell sell property via the internet. Their business or their function is primarily internet based. All right. Now, a group of guys come together and decide that they want to form this company. In and of itself, nothing wrong with people coming together, putting their brain cells together and forming a company. in and of itself, there's nothing inherently wrong with them. So here, these guys came together and they decide to start a company. Now, this company is an offspring of the parent company. Again, the parent company is Acorn Information System LLC. The members that form this company: one, the chief executive officer for this company is a person by the name of Byron P. Barrows, Barrios. And his title is the Chief Executive Officer for CivicSource. Okay. One other member of this business, this franchise business, is a person by the name of William Sassaman. Now, his title is Chief Technology Officer. I'm not going to go into these guys' stats or these guys' credential or these guys' portfolio as it relates to what to the previous titles and stuff. We ain't gonna do that. The key here is for you to know these individuals. The individuals who make up, who start, who form, who runs, who operate Acorn Information System LLC / CivicSource. Now, it's important. This is the legwork we are doing. This is a legwork information we are giving to the listening audience. One other member of this criminal enterprise, no, let me not say criminal enterprise. Hell yes, criminal enterprise. Come on. Hell yes, criminal enterprise. One other member of this criminal enterprise is a person by the name of Byron Danos. Not to be confused with Byron. A matter of fact, this Byron spell his name B-R-I. And the first one spell his name B-R-Y. This one is Danos. That's D-A-N-O-S. And the first one is Barrows. So the third person is a gentleman by the name of Byron Danos. And his title is Chief Information Officer. This is Mr. Danos.
The parish is, the tax collector for the parish is the sheriff, right? I've never met a sheriff that got elected sheriff because they were a good tax collector. So they could care less about tax collection. It's something that they're burdened, they have to do in the meantime of, cops and robber stuff. So
now, one of the most, oh my God, one of the most sinister action or thing there is by certain individuals is their ability to commit a crime or their ability to lie to you and do it in such a way that you would think that this individual is above approach, or that they are so factual in what they are doing or saying, or that this individual is just so pure in mind and heart that they wouldn't do something that is morally wrong or illegal. And the truth about it, family, it baffles the mind. And these people, look, there are certain qualities or there are certain attributes that you can find with people like these, right? Number one, they are assertive and aggressively assertive, sometimes charming, in their whole presentation and their whole argument and their whole dialogue, that you put on a second layer of confidence mentally to say that these people, wouldn't do nothing that is morally wrong or illegal. These people, they have a special way of putting forward their argument or their point of view or their belief. They can sell a car to a disabled person, and that disabled person would buy that car, and with that assumption that, yeah, I can drive it, even though that person know that, look, I'm disabled. But the way all these individuals over here persuade you or sell you their point of view, is to the point of, it's like you find yourself under a trance. It hypnotizes. It's like they are so good at what they do that you have to have a strong will to see that there's something actually wrong with this picture. Now, for those of you who actually miss it, I think it is imperative for us to back up a second too, because we're going to play it back. For those of you who actually miss it, listen to this, and then I'm going to comment, because I want to show you, we're trying to make a point here. And the point is, people like Byron Danos, this person who I just outlined to you is Title, and the company to which he's a part of, Acorn Information System LLC, doing business here in New Orleans, Louisiana as CivicSource.com. Byron Danos is the Chief Information Officer. The Chief what? Information Officer. Okay? Now, I don't know what that title, Chief Information Officer, entails, but the underlying word for me in that title is information. Listen to this sentence carefully.
We have Napoleonic Code, it's different laws. And one of the main things is we call our counties parishes because, it's a religious state, whatever. So there's 64 parishes, and even more odd, the tax collector for the parish is the sheriff, right? I've never met a sheriff that got elected sheriff because they were a good tax collector.
Okay. Did you guys hear that? For those of you who have problem here, and let me look, family, let me tell you something, man. It's crazy, but you have to acknowledge. You have to acknowledge certain abilities. You have to look. Whether or not you like a person, yes or no. Whether or not you like a person, yes or no. It's just like people every day right now because of what's going on in the mainstream media. Right? You have a lot of people, I would say legitimately, and some people based on what they hear from mainstream media don't like our present president, that's Donald Trump. Don't like the guy. Just hate him. Just hate Donald Trump hands down. To the point where when you have mass shooting in other countries, they blame Donald Trump. To the point where if rain fall 2 days straight, it's Donald Trump. It doesn't matter. They just don't like the guy. And for the most part, they don't like him because they are misinformed. Right? And this is what I said to people. I said, look, whether or not you like Donald Trump, President Donald Trump, you have to respect him for what he did in 2016. You have to. Right? Because in 2016, even though he ran as a Republican, Donald Trump ran against the establishment hands down. There have never been another candidate running for the United States of America presidency that the both party and the mainstream media was against. There is members in his, look, he ran as a Republican, had 17 other candidates, and he whipped their ass. He beat the Republican Party, he beat the Democratic Party, and he whipped the media ass. And for that, and that only, you have to give the guy respect. They say where respect is due, respect it after due. You have to tip your hat to the guy. Because with all the negativity, that they throw at Donald Trump, the guy come out smiling every single time. And every single time that they tell you that, look, he's going down, or this is it. This is it. This is it. Yes, this is it. He's calling country shithole country. He's this. He's calling people. Every single time this is gonna be a landslide for Hillary Clinton. Everything that they tell you about Donald Trump, he come out on the other side shining. So whether or not you like him, there are certain things you have to respect him for. You have to. Here it is. We have Byron Danos, who is a member of CivicSource.com. This guy with his counterparts are operating an illegal entity here, by which they are robbing the people of New Orleans from what is rightfully theirs, their property. Hands down, they are doing it illegally. Hands down. You don't have to have a law degree or be a member of the Bar Association, either the American Bar Association, the Louisiana Bar Association, or any other goddamn bar association. You don't have to. You don't need one. All you need is what you were born with, common sense and the ability to read the written word and to interpret it. Here is this criminal with this title, Chief Information Officer. He's doing a presentation to a group of people. Now, looking at again, listen to what I'm saying carefully, you know. It's beautiful. He's doing a presentation, right, to a group of people, trying to get these people to invest in his company, trying to get these people to buy property, to come onto his platform and spend some money, right? Let's stick a pin for a second. You're listening to The Proven Truth. You're listening to The Proven Truth with your brother and host, Anthony Brown. Coming to you live from the studios of Radio Gumbo Creole here in the beautiful territory of New Orleans, Louisiana. To listen to the program, the number to listen to the program, you can dial the number 667-930-9041. Again, from your device of choice, you can dial the number 667. And for those of you who recognize it, yes, the number, this is a new number. This is actually a new number. This number was just changed recently. Changed recently. So this is a new number. You can now listen to us by dialing 667-930-9041. Again, that telephone number is family. 667-930-9041. You can also listen to us via the web. That's www.radiogumbocreole.net. To participate in the show, you can call us at 504-303-8922. That's 504-303-8922. Okay. This, to pick up back where we were, this criminal over here, right? You have to give credit where credit is due. Whether or not you like a person. And look, I know it's hard, it's tough to do. Right? I know it's tough. But look, for those of you who know or have been listening to this show for some time, you may hear us say that we spent 7 years in the armed forces, in the military. Right? And one of the things that you are taught in the military is to know your enemy. You must know your enemy, because that's the only way you can defeat your enemy. By getting close to your enemy and knowing what your enemy is all about, what their likes and their dislikes. Okay? You must know that, because without you having that information, you cannot defeat your enemy. Here it is. This person over here, Byron Burroughs, he's speaking to a group of people, and he's saying to these people, because he want them to invest their hard-earned money in his company, CivicSource.com. He want to convince them that, look, if you take your dollar, you can come and invest it here with CivicSource and you can make $10. And before he did that, or during his presentation, he outlined or he spoke the truth. He told the audience, look, the only person that is authorized to sell property as it relates to the taxing or to the Constitution is the duly elected sheriff. He told them. He said, look, listen to what I'm saying, family. It's a unique gift. It's a unique gift certain individuals have. To be robbing you blind, and at the same time they are robbing you, they are giving you certain... Look, you ever see a criminal go into your house and try to rob you? And while they rob you, they say, man, look, if I was you, I would call the po-po. I would call the police. You know? Or if I was you, they're giving you advice. Or they're telling you the truth. They're in your house robbing you, and they're telling you, man, look, you need to put a burglar bar on your door, or you need to put a security system. You see what I'm talking? You see what I'm getting? Here, oh my God. Here it is. We have Byron Danos, the Chief Information Officer. One of the owners, right, are the members of CivicSource.com. He is speaking to this audience, and he's telling the audience, look, he is selling property. Right? That's what CivicSource do. CivicSource auction property, right? On the website. They auction property on the website, knowing fully goddamn well they don't have the authority to do so. They know this. You think they don't know this? But give me a while, give me a few more minutes. I'm going to show you why and how they are able to do it, even though that they know that they are doing it illegally. So, here is the owner. Here is the owner. Here is Byron Burroughs. Listen carefully in the family. I'm going to play it again for those of you who miss it or who just tune into the program, because you need to hear it for yourself. Listen.
So there's 64 parishes, and even more odd, the tax collector for the parish is the sheriff, right? I've never met a sheriff.
The tax collector is who? Hold up, man, because look. Okay, to all my critics out there. To all my critics out there who say, man, look, Anthony Brown, you're full of crap, or Anthony Brown, you have a clue you're talking about, or Anthony Brown, blah, 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 blah. It's okay. I ain't got no malice for you. No ill will to you. But what do you say when it's coming from the arse's mouth or from the criminal's mouth? Now, look, for those of you who have access to Facebook, my Facebook page is Anthony Brown. What's my Facebook page? My Facebook page is Anthony Brown for Assessor 2017. Right? That's it, right? Yeah, my Facebook page is Anthony Brown for Assessor 2017. This is what I want you to do. Go on my Facebook page, or even if you don't have a Facebook account for yourself, because I know a lot of people don't participate or utilize social media. I didn't myself, to be honest with you. This right here for us is a means to an end. We are utilizing this platform or many other platforms just because we are trying to inform or to reach as much people with this information as possible. That's why we utilize platforms like this. So even if you don't have an account for yourself, right? Go ask your teenager or your family member or somebody. Say, let me borrow your Facebook account for a second. I need to check out this page. And go onto my page. And when you go onto my page, scroll down, right? Let me see. Scroll down on my page to maybe let me see how much. Let me see. Let me count it for you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, the 6th video. Look, just scroll to my page because there's a lot of information there. But scroll down on my page, and you will see back in, when was this one? This one was done in October of 2018, right? Back in 2017. Well, you will see an action that we took in front of this criminal enterprise, CivicSource.com, located at 935 Gravier Street, New Orleans, Louisiana. You will see for yourself, right? And what you will see is, while we were out there demonstrating, I was on the mic and I have some people walking around with signs. You will see 2 representatives from CivicSource came down to try to have a dialogue with me. Now look, I won't tell you about, you check it out yourself and you'll see what we're talking about. When you confront criminals, there is nothing that they can do or say, right, to rebut factual argument or factual evidence. Now, let's go back to this guy. So here it is. Now, you see, this is that unique ability that we speak about. Notice carefully what did Byron Danos said right after he made the statement that the sheriffs are the ones within these parishes that collect or should collect taxes. Listen carefully.
That got elected sheriff because they were a good tax collector. So
did you hear that? Or you want me to back up a little bit? You want me to play it again? Okay, listen carefully to what this guy said.
We have Napoleonic code, it's different laws. And one of the main things is we call our counties parishes because, it's a religious state, whatever. So there's 64 parishes, and even more odd, the tax collector for the parish is the sheriff, right? I've never met a sheriff that got elected sheriff because they were a good tax collector.
I never met a sheriff who got elected as a sheriff because they are a good tax collector. And he says it with a big grin on his face, a big smile on his face, and he also said it with a jovial tone of voice. It's a unique ability that individuals like this have. So just imagine his audience right now. They are listening to him, and he made that statement. Now he just tell these people the gospel truth. Look, what I'm doing right here is illegal. I do have the authority to do it. The only person who is authorized to conduct any business when it comes to the sale of property tax, or when it comes to the Constitution, Article 7 actually it's in this case in Louisiana, right, is the duly appointed sheriff. But look, I never seen a sheriff who get elected to appointed sheriff because they are good tax collector. Did you catch that? Did you all catch that? So, in one twist, in one jovial approach or sentence, he actually changed the mindset or the thinking process of his audience. And I guarantee you, not one person in that room truly understand what they just heard. They don't. Because if they had, because look, we're going to play this video a little bit more so you guys can hear, that no one challenged him, or no one said, excuse me, sir, did I just hear you correctly? Did you just inform us that the sheriff is the only person who is authorized or legal to do this type of to sell or to collect property taxes? So why the hell are you? What am I doing here? No one challenged him because they didn't grasp it. It's a unique ability these criminals have, and that's my argument. You must, even though they are committing a criminal act, these people produce a unique ability to convince other people that what they are doing is right, is righteous, is legal. No, family, I'm serious, man. And for that unique ability, you have to say, wow. Wow. If they did not possess that ability to trick people, to lie to people in such a way that people would actually believe it, CivicSource, Acorn Information System LLC, wouldn't be making the millions of dollars that they are making here in New Orleans, Louisiana, or throughout the whole territory of Louisiana. They wouldn't. Now, mind you, yes, CivicSource is here operating, conducting business, but they are not doing it. They are not doing it on their own initiative or on their own power. They are not. We're going to go into that part that's in a minute. If you should go onto Civic site, CivicSource.com website. If you should go onto CivicSource website and you scroll down, you will recognize that come next month, let's see something, councilwoman to host session about acquiring, where is this? Metro Councilwoman Shauna Banks is hosting information session on how to acquire property in East Baton Rouge. When is this? Oh, this past you. Okay. You would notice that come April, another couple of weeks from now, CivicSource have property listed on the website to be auctioned, and again, all over the territory of Louisiana. In Caddo Parish, City of Lake Charles, City of New Orleans, East Baton Rouge Parish, St. Bernard's Parish, St. Martin's Parish, St. Mary's Parish, St. Tammany's Parish, Tanjamaho Parish, Ascension Parish, right? They have properties listed on their website for auction. So we told you about Byron P. Burroughs, William Sassaman, Byron the Nose. There's a other person there and that that's a member of this criminal enterprise, Michael Cushman. Now, let's do this. Let's listen to this criminal a little more.
So they could care less about tax collection. It's something that they're burdened, they have to do in the meantime.
They could care less about tax collection. It's something that they are burdened down with. It's something that they have to do. Now, again, he's saying this with a grin, a sinister grin on his face at this point. He's saying this with a sinister grin and a jovial tone of voice. He's telling these people inside these rooms. Now, the truth about it, we don't know how many of these people are actually from the territory of Louisiana. Because based on our research and based on information that we have received, a lot of these properties that people here in the territory of Louisiana have been losing has been lost to these politicians here in Louisiana, because these politicians inform the family members both within the territory of Louisiana and outside. We know of one in particular, that criminal imposter Errol G. Williams, to be doing such. We have investor from outside the territory of, a matter of fact, investor outside the United States of America, who these people are affiliated and have ties with, coming here and purchasing properties in the 9th Ward like crazy. Right? We know that for a fact. We are not asking anybody. We are not speculating or wondering no. We are telling you that for a fact. We were there in the 9th Ward when these owners, when these people came up, right, from outside the United States. They didn't even know how to get around the goddamn 9th Ward. They asked us. And when we start to question and find out what was going on, oh, they purchased 3 pieces of parcel. They purchased 3 pieces of parcel, and they want to actually see the parcel, what it look like, so they can make a decision what they're going to do with it. And they got it for nothing. So we ain't asking nobody. We ain't asking nobody if that's the case. We were in the 9th Ward. See these people, they stop us, ask us, right? They purchased, and there weren't even, not Americans. So we're not asking anybody anything. That criminal imposter Errol G. Williams is the same. He utilized his authority to steal these properties and put these properties underneath his family member's name. So we know this to be factual. We ain't asking. Okay? Here it is that Byron is telling us that your elected official, the person who is duly authorized to conduct this affair on your behalf, they don't care. Wasn't that what? Wasn't that what he just said a while ago? Let's speak again. Am I tripping?
We have Napoleonic Code. It's different laws. And one of the main things is we call our counties parishes because, you know, it's a religious state, whatever. So there's 64 parishes, and even more odd, the tax collector for the parish is the sheriff, right? I've never met a sheriff that got elected sheriff because they were a good tax collector.
The tax collector for the parish is a sheriff. I never make a tax collector or a sheriff who got elected because he's a good tax collector.
So they could care less about tax collection. It's something that they're burdened, they have to do in the meantime.
So they could care less about tax collectors, something that they are burdened to do.
In time of you know, cops and robbers stuff. So
cops and robbers. So here it is. This guy, man, you have to respect these guys. You just have to. So why did these individuals come to us and ask us to be sheriff if they don't want to exercise the function or the role of the sheriff? Here it is. He just convinced every single person in that room that, look, first he give them factual information. No, again, it's a unique gift or an ability that these people possess. These people are committing a criminal act, and they are doing it in such a way that the average person don't even see or recognize it, because the way how these criminals present it to you. Family, it's a gift. It's an ability. I don't possess such an ability. Neither do I want to, but I don't. Because here it is that they know that what they are doing is illegal, is wrong, and that they are only getting away with it because they are greasing the palm of the politicians here in New Orleans, Louisiana. They know this. They know that if these politicians didn't accommodate their criminal activity, they couldn't. But what this guy just did, he told every single person in that room, in that audience, that, look, I am here tonight to encourage you to invest your hard-earned currency into my company and my platform, CivicSource.com, into my company, Acorn Information System, LLC. I'm here to encourage you to do that, and I'm here to show you how you can go about doing that so you can turn $1 into $10. But before we get started, listen to this. The person who is authorized to do this legally is the sheriff, but I never see a sheriff that is so good at collecting tax before that he got re-elected. It is so boring and so did you guys caught that? And nobody picked up on it. They didn't. So he continued to defraud, to lie, to rob these people.
They're really not excited about doing the tax collection process. So this is what we help them through. So typically, except Orleans Parish, it has a Department of Finance, and Lafayette has a department, but everywhere else, it's the sheriff is actually who is running the tax sales for the parish. There's also 150 municipalities, there's probably more than that actually collect for themselves also. So you have the sheriff sale, and you also have the city level tax sales. So there's a lot of auctions that happen in Louisiana. 60, that probably number's low. There's probably more, but about 60 of them are actually online. The rest are in little small places that you don't want to visit. But I have visited the small towns of Louisiana. There's not much north of I-10. But it's a great state, I'll say that. So let's talk about the other weird thing we do is we're one of the few states that has this hybrid sale. Most of you are all familiar with the tax lien process, and you're all familiar with the tax deed process, right? So what is a hybrid? We are a hybrid state. We sell basically a lien, and then 3 years later, that lien has the right to convert to a deed. There are several other states that have this, but I know it's not the norm of what most of y'all are looking to invest in. It's a 3-year redemptive period. So we sell, the tax sale happens, the homeowner has 3 years to redeem that property. Of course, you're getting penalty and interest during that time. But it has the right at the end of the 3 years to convert to the actual deed. So we really are seeing two types of purchasers through our site. We're seeing people that are strictly involved in looking for a return on their investment in purchasing for liens, and when we're seeing other people who are trying to acquire the property. And I'll tell you exactly how we know that, and that leads to my...
One of the key information that you guys need to know, one of the key piece of information that is missing from this equation is that this company, CivicSource.com, is a LLC, is a limited liability corporation. This company is a LLC, a limited liability corporation. This company is not a part of the government in any way, shape, or size, or form. This is not a branch of the government. Acorn Information System LLC / CivicSource.com is not a branch of the government, does not form or is not a part of the government. At no time in its history or through its conception is CivicSource a part of the government. CivicSource have no fiduciary duty to we the people. No member of CivicSource, executive staff or body, neither Byron P. Burroughs, William Sassaman, Byron Danos, Michael Cushman, or no other member of CivicSource are elected officials. None of them. These people are operating under the authority or the blessings from the Secretary of State. These people operate underneath their articles of operation, some crap like that. Right? Articles of incorporation. Right? With the blessings or the authority from the Secretary of State. None of these criminal actors right here are elected officials. None of these criminal actors conducting themselves with and under the authority of the Louisiana Constitution is doing so with any legal authority or constitutional authority. They are utilizing a LLC to operate or to conduct business under the Constitution. Let me say that one more time. CivicSource.com is not a branch of government or does not fall under the branch of government. Okay? Nor none of its members are elected officials. Not one of them. These individuals are operating because they got the blessings from the Secretary of State to do so. And they are utilizing that LLC that they form. They are utilizing that LLC. They are taking the authority from the Louisiana Constitution or the functions, the function that the Louisiana Constitution authorize when it comes to revenue and finance, when it comes to taxation, when it comes to Article 7 of the Louisiana Constitution. They are taking that function and conducting that constitutional function utilizing a LLC. I hope I didn't confuse anybody. I hope I didn't confuse anybody. Over here, just so that they could conduct business or generate revenue, just so that they could operate in the commercial realm, these individuals over here, these bribers of Louisiana politicians over here, Byron Barrows. And look, again, we are speaking on facts. These people, these men over here, bribe Louisiana politicians, bribe people like Mitch J, criminal, no good imposter, Lanjo. And we're going to show you in a short while what happened when, or what did Byron Barrows got when he went and bribed certain politicians here in Louisiana, New Orleans. We're going to show you that. We're going to talk about it in a second. But these individuals went out and formed this LLC because they wanted to do business. They wanted to conduct business. They want to participate in the capitalistic system. So they went and they formed an LLC. That LLC, they had also submit documents to the Secretary of State. And they did. Under their article of incorporation, it outlines certain function or certain things that they can do. None of these individuals ever came to we the people and said, look, I'm running for public office, or I'm an elected official. The Constitution, my brothers and sisters, is the legal document of the land. It's a legal authority by which every single elected officials, even though we know for a fact that they don't give a rat's ass about this document, we know that for a fact, and we know that not no branch is excluded. We know that Bernadette Johnson don't give a rat's ass about losing the Constitution. She heads the judicial branch. We know that John Bell Edwards don't give a rat's ass about losing the Constitution. He heads the executive branch. We know that members, the members on the House and Senate side there in Baton Rouge don't give a rat's ass about the losing the Constitution. We know that. We know this. The Constitution was instituted or drafted for elected officials. People who put their names on the ballot and the electorate vote for them and put them in power. Not one of these gentlemen over here are elected officials. Not one. So they don't have no authority to be actioning, selling, collecting, dividing, owing, nothing when it comes on to Article 7 of the Louisiana Constitution. They have no business in that realm. But here it is, they are doing so. Here it is, they are doing so, family. And you must ask the question, how the hell they can do so with such a bare face? And away from their natural ability to lie, to trick, to deceive, to rob, to steal, to bamboozle. We're going to show you how these politicians, these criminals here in New Orleans, Louisiana, accommodate them, facilitate them.
Next slide, talking about another weird thing we do here, and this is the one that really bothers all of us, and you've heard about it, is our biddable component is the percentage of ownership, right? What in the world is that, right? The biddable component, and I've researched this because it basically starts at 100% and down to 1%. So whoever bids 1% ownership in the property is the winner, right? And it doesn't make sense. And I said, why in the world, was this written? This was a law we found that was written like 1930, and it really was for large landowners. The origin of this law, from what I could find, is from large landowners had acres and acres of property, and the taxing authority was willing to take the least percentage of that property in exchange for the delinquent taxes. And of course, Louisiana has not changed that yet. that biddable component. We are working, there's a legislative committee that is working to change this right now. There's several different options, but the biddable component hopefully in the future will not be percentage of ownership, because this causes really, really difficult questions when people win at a tax sale for less than 100%, right? So like I said, we have the tax sale happens. If you bid anything less than 100%, you got the 3-year redemptive period. You're hoping that somebody's going to redeem in that 3-year period. Because if not, it's very, very difficult for you to have any recourse at the end of the 3 years to acquire the property or get some return if the homeowner does not redeem. Does that make sense? It's a very strange biddable component. I think there's a couple other states that do this. But the ones I talked to, they say they're all trying to eliminate that also at their legislative level. This is going to have to be a constitutional ballot item that will hopefully, I'm not involved in the writing of it, but I'm hearing that hopefully on the next, in 2016, it'll be on the ballot. So 2017 might be the earliest that could change. We're hoping for it because it really is difficult for everybody. It just needs to be you win 100% ownership in the property.
What happens at the end of that 3-year period if you don't bid 100%?
Right. So if you don't bid at 100%, the only recourse I've heard, and let me start. I'm not a lawyer, so consult the lawyer. But
okay, there is he just answered the question that we posed earlier in the game in the show, right? So he has made it clear that he's not an attorney. He's not a lawyer. Okay? Now, just imagine if he was. With the ability that he possesses right now to lie to people straight to the face, to convert the truth in such a humorous and cynical way. Just imagine if he had went to any law school and get that or have that legal ability behind him. Huh? No, well, again, Byron that knows himself don't have to be. Because let me tell you something again that we know to be factual and truth. These guys hire some of the biggest law firms and lawyers around town. Right? These guys, let me tell you something, man. We go to some of these open house that these guys have, or some of these presentations. And sometimes you go there, all you see is just attorneys. Because we call them out on their criminal activities. Now what they do, they put these people in front and say, oh well, here's this attorney, and they brag about the attorney that is within the groups. Right? And the attorney, because he's an attorney, so we suppose, oh, he's an attorney, so he's a brilliant scholar. Yes, brilliant, my ass. Let's go into the next part of this. Let's show you why and how these people, CivicSource, have been getting away with this criminal activity. I said to you earlier ago that the CEO, Byron P. Burroughs of CivicSource, and his company, they go around and they bribe politicians and they bribe certain associations, right? They bribe individuals just so that certain action can be taken in their favor, or that will benefit them and their company, CivicSource.com. That's what they do. In one instant, they went and they bribed that criminal, Errol G. Williams. No, not well. Shit, yeah, they bribed him too, but they went and they bribe Mitch J. Landro. They went and they bribed Mitch J. Landro. Right? And what did they get for bribing Mitch Landro? What did they get? What did they get? Mitch Landro took a bribe for $10,000. Mitch J. Landro. Yes. That Landro, the Landro dynasty, his dad was a mayor before and now he's looking to run for president. Yeah, that Mitch Landro, yeah. The one who cheated on his wife with his staffer and have a kid him don't want to. Yeah, that Mitch Landro. The one who have property all over downtown New Orleans, him and his family, that they're not paying any tax for. That's not on the tax roll, the avalarum tax roll. That's supposed to be on the avalarum tax roll. That is criminal enterprise friend Errol Mitch, criminal no good Williams. Don't want to put, yeah, that Mitch Landro, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, that one. The one who was the CEO for this municipal corporation before this nonchalant, lackadaisical, want to befriend everybody, Latoya Cantrell. Okay. So, for the, and look, we're not only saying that it was only $10,000. A matter of fact, in all honesty, we think that is a lot more than $10,000 that Mitch took. However, we, again, the name of this show is The Proven Truth. We're going to only speak on what we can prove and what we know to be factual. Okay? So we're going to stick with that $10,000, all right? So, when Brian, criminal no good, robbing people in New Orleans under his LLC, give that other criminal, Mitch J. Landro, that $10,000, what did Brian got for that $10,000? Huh? Anybody know? Look. Anybody know? What did Byron got for his $10,000? Huh? You don't know? He got a contract. He got a contract from Mitchell J. Landro. That's why his name is Mitchell. Short, you can call it Mitch. Right? So for his $10,000, he got a contract. Now, fam, look. In my hands, I got a copy of this so-called contract. Now, this contract, the truth about it, I just keep it as a point of reference, you know what I mean? But this contract in and of itself, its only true worth and purpose is to wipe my ass. That's about it. You know, you know, that's it. Look, the paper that is written on, you know, its only true use, you know, is to wipe my ass. That's it. Because even though, look, where you don't have two competent persons signing a document, that document cannot be valid. If we have two persons signing a document and we are not, this is not two competent person signing that document is no goddamn good. And in this case, all this so-called contract is paper for me to wipe my ass with. But I still keep it because I want to refer to it, which I have been referring to it for some time. For some time I've been referring to it. Because I want to show John Public. I need John Public to see. There are times when I just pull it out to show, just like out, I pull it out and show that I don't know what to call her, Cindy Wynn, the so-called representative for District E. As a matter of fact, talking about Cindy Wynn. You notice Cindy Wynn, she have a thing. She have a thing. She like to gravitate to people who, at a minimum, we know is of shady character. You notice that? Now, she and Christine Palmer is best of friends. She and Christine Palmer, bosom buddy. Right? I observed her over the weekend, Cindy Wynn that is, at this function with that other criminal. What's his name again? Let me see if we can find it real quick. That other criminal, look. You see, the thing about it, family, all of them is criminals, you know. It's difficult to distinguish one from the other, or to separate one from the other. All them criminals. But here it is, she was out there with, I'll tell you his name in a second. This other criminal, what's his name again? This other criminal over here, Senator New Orleans, as full. Give me a second, family. Give me a second, man. Look, give me a second. You know, give me a second.
At Rejuvenate.
Let me see. Come on. Well, look. Look. Wesley Bishop, man. Wesley Bishop. You know, when you notice the type of people who she associates herself with, when I show her this document, and I took my time because I recognize that you have people who is occupying certain seats, or who is out there in the public calling themselves elected official, or is dumb. These are some of the most, man, look, these people don't have a clue to what it is that they are supposed to be doing, or their portfolio in government, away from the fact that they know that they are utilizing these offices to rob the people of New Orleans, Louisiana. They know that. And that's all they care about. Let's take a look at this piece of crap right here. This so-called contract. Let's take a look at this piece of crap. Now, first we're going to establish the parties in this document. And I want you to bear in mind the information that I give you earlier, right? I want you to bear in mind the information that I give you earlier. Where there is not two competent parties to a document, that document in and of itself is void and null of law. Meaning, let me give you an example. Let's say you are a grown adult with all your faculties, right? And you are, in good standing enough, a maturity age and with all your faculties. And let's say you want to purchase this phone right here, right? Let's say you want to purchase this phone right here. I got a phone in my hand right now, and you want to purchase this phone. Let's say I say, okay, I'm going to sell this phone. I want to sell this phone, right? and let's say I saw a kid. Now this kid is 12-year-old, right? 12. Under his parents' authority, rule, and control, right? This kid see my phone and say, look, I want your phone. I want to buy your phone, right? Not only that, this kid is 12. This kid, let's say this kid is, no, let's leave it at that. This kid is 12, right, under his parents' control. Don't have a job, nothing. Any resources that this kid have come from his parents, right? This kid come and say, look, I want to buy your phone. I say, okay, look, this phone is valued $600. Okay? Now, because I know that this kid, there's no way in hell that this 12-year-old kid supposed to have $1,200, right? And I know that this kid is underage, right? And I shouldn't actually be doing business with this kid. Now, I said to the kid, look, let's draft a contract. Let's draft up a contract outlining in the contract all parties. I'm going to be on the contract as a seller. You on the contract as a buyer. We're going to outline the amount of money. And, we're going to put in some more verbiage and we're going to sign this contract. Okay? The very moment or minute when we exercise or we exercise that contract or draft that document, right? Even before it was done, it was null and void of law because we don't have two competent persons. Yeah, I may be competent, right? I'm a full age and maturity, right? I possess or own the phone, right? I am making an offer, but I'm making an offer to somebody who is not competent enough to challenge my offer or to even recognize that this transaction ain't righteous. A matter of fact, if this 12-year-old was competent enough, they would say, man, look, this goddamn phone never went on. The most I would give it to you for is $100. So the fact that this person this 12-year-old even enter into that agreement with me, right? Tell you right off the bat that this is not a competent person. Mentally, this person ain't mature enough, or there's something wrong with this picture. So, not because I go ahead right now and draft this goddamn piece of paper and call it a contract, it mean anything. It couldn't hold up in a true court of law. I ain't talking about this bullshit kangaroo thing where we have in New Orleans. Talking about a true court of law. It couldn't hold up in a true court of law. It wouldn't. They would laugh me all the way. They would laugh after me all the way to the goddamn jailhouse. Now, here it is. We have this, well, they don't call it contract. They call it professional service agreement. That's what they call it. Here we have a professional service agreement between the City of New Orleans and Acorn Information System LLC, right? Between Acorn, something, I'm looking at this thing too, You see? It's between Acorn Information System LLC. Is it Acorn Information System LLC? Is it that entity that's actually actioning the properties? No, it's not. It's CivicSource.com. That's the first thing that jumps out the paper. You recognize something is shady right here. Anyway, let's move ahead. Let's go ahead. This agreement, the agreement is made and entered into on this date by and between the city of New Orleans, represented by its CEO, Mitch J. Landrieu. So the fictitious or the municipal corporation, that entity, the city of New Orleans, the human, the flesh and blood individual, human being, is Mitch J. Landrieu. Now, and for those of you Guardian critics out there who gonna email me or text me or whatever, oh well, Anthony, we're talking about Mitch. Mitch is no longer in. So Guardian what? This piece of garbage, this trash, this so-called agreement, this so-called contract is still in full force and effect under this present administration. Lataya, Tansaback, nonchalant, want to be friendly with everybody control. She's still enforcing this. Likewise is every single member of the New Orleans City Council. More so, Cindy Wynn. And Acorn Information System LLC, represented by its chief executive officer. So, herein lies something else. You are losing your property because of what they are calling a contract. They can be sued. You are losing your property because of a contract. Not because of the Constitution. Follow what I'm saying, the family. Follow what I'm saying. This is what we are facing, and this is what we are fighting hands down every single day here in the territory of New Orleans, Louisiana. This is what we're talking about. We have people you talk about low-income workers, you talk about crime and violence, you talk about education, you talk about whatever you want to talk about. A basic human right is for one to have and to maintain, to keep a roof over one's head. It's a basic human right. Every other issue surrounds that.
But the thing I've heard is that there are cases where people are trying, because you, and I'm going to get to that, but because you as the tax sale purchaser are required to pay subsequent year taxes, which you get interest on, you can then sue I've heard somebody try to sue the homeowner for 99, so let's say you bought it at 1%, you want it at 1%. You sue the homeowner for 99 cents of every dollar you subsequently spent to pay. But that's a case that's not been ruled on yet, so I don't know the legality of that or how that's going to be ruled on. But that's some options people are pursuing on how to get your return if the homeowner hasn't redeemed, if you didn't win at 100%. So, but like I said, I'm not a lawyer, and really we're kind of out of that process. We're just the auction, pre-sale and auction, so we don't get involved in the post-sale workings of it. It's unfortunate, but that's what we're trying to clear up with getting this new biddable component. I don't know exactly what it's going to be. We've talked about the 5% penalty or some other redemption amount, more like Florida. But we'll see what it actually arrives on. I never, even if I told you something now, Louisiana legislators will ultimately change it. So that's the biddable component. All right, so what's the return for you? There's an immediate 5% penalty. Day after the sale, immediate 5% penalty, and then 1% a month, every month for that redemptive period. So you have a chance to make up to 41% on that tax sale purchase. month one, and it's monthly, it's not all at once. So month one, right after the sale, it's a 6% they owe you, 5% penalty and 1% for that first month. So that's the biddable, that's the return on your investment. And most of the properties are being won at 1%, and people are really trying to play for that. We're seeing a lot of redemptions. Trying to think of the last statistic, it's between 80 and 90% redemption rate, depending on the taxing authority in this municipality. So most are getting redeemed. As I said before, if it doesn't redeem, you have the right to convert that lien into a deed, and there are several law firms that can help with that locally and actually make that happen. Of course, you are required to pay the subsequent year taxes, which you also get 1% a month, starting on January 1st of the next year on those subsequent year taxes. So, what you got?
Well, Brian, you might be aware of it, but every parish treats it different.
Yes.
Right. So, and that's one of the problems that we've had with the parishes outside New Orleans, which is fabulous the way the interest is. But so, for example, Gretna doesn't give you 5% on subsequent year taxes, but New Orleans will.
Right.
And Iberia sends us a bill for the percentage of ownership that we bid on. Instead of all the other parishes, they don't give us a 100% tax bill. And it just creates for all this mess.
Yes.
So I mean, we've actually stopped buying in many of the other parishes who we think aren't doing it correctly. Iberia
is one specific one that I know. Agreed. They do that. They split the ownership based on it. They don't. We have tried to educate them and told them that's not the way to do it, but ultimately that's the way to do it, and it is causing an issue there at Iberia. Gretna is one that I'm not as familiar with. I could talk to the person who deals with them, but yes, that is the issue. Is that different parishes do this inconsistently, and that's why we need this sweeping change to redo the law to make it unified. New Orleans obviously does do it. We believe does do it correctly, and you should get that on there. But I don't have a good answer for you for that. We know a lot of our phone calls are trying to educate these different places and to tell them that this is what you should be doing. This is why you're losing bidders. We go to them every year and say, look, we lost, the number of bidders is different this year.
Family, listen to what this guy is saying. So here it is. Danos. He is admitting here that as a private sector corporation, they are actually advising elected officials, are telling elected officials how to conduct business as it relates to the law of the land. No, follow me carefully. Here it is. These individuals from CivicSource are informing your elected officials. Well, we don't have that in New Orleans or in Louisiana. We have politicians. So and well, you know something? Need I say no more? It's because we don't have elected officials why this can be happening. We have politicians here. How can a group of people, a for-profit corporation, go and advise, or to the point where they are to the point where they are actually participating in the taxing process? How is that feasible? How is that possible? How is that righteous? Oh. Where is it written in the Constitution that you have a right, or that some private firm or for some LLC, some for-profit corporation can come and advise or give advice or participate in a governmental process or activity? We are. And to all of my critics, to all of you dumb bastard, maybe you can enlighten me. Maybe you can enlighten me, because, again, here it is. This guy is telling this room of people, I don't know how much people is inside that room. We can't say we don't want to see neither. Because maybe we'll see somebody who, we're going to be so disappointed with. Here it is that he's telling them, and that's just to show you the level of ignorance that we have when it comes to government and government portfolio and government activities.
And we're hearing these things. You're not the first person to tell us that. So we're trying our best, but you can only do so much to tell them that they're stuck in their ways. So Iberia, though, one is a particularly, Iberia and St. Mary are two that I know that have that splitting of ownership issue that is going to be resolved at some point soon. So
another
yep.
issue with Gretna and the municipalities is
yep.
not all of them are. You can have two tax sales. You can have the sheriff have tax sales
yes.
for the parish and
yes.
the tax collector for the municipality. And you go to redeem one, and you pay later year's taxes to the other one to avoid a tax sale. You won't get a redemption of both of them at the same time.
Right, because so, it's two separate taxing authorities. Yep.
Yeah, well, the statute says you're supposed to redeem for anything that's owed, but
yep.
I've got a case now where a redemption certificate was issued, and my client had paid taxes to the sheriff. The sheriff says, "Well, you owe those taxes. I'm not giving them back." And the city said, "Well, we just redeemed our tax sale."
Right.
So there's this limbo of my guy paid, I don't know, a few $1,000s or $10,000, whatever it is, and we got to go to court to decide who's supposed to, pay him the money. Right,
where the money's supposed to go. That is the difficult thing about parish municipality collections, and we like to try to persuade the municipalities to allow the parish to collect. One of the things we do on our site, though, if you're probably familiar, is that if there is we try to schedule the sales at the same time for the parish and the cities, if possible, and we will have on our site the ability to say, you might be interested, this property is also in a city sale, you might want to buy the municipal taxes also. That's our best help to try to allow you to purchase at both, so you don't have this crazy issue of, is it this one or this one? That's one of the inherent issues with Louisiana too. So I'm making Louisiana seem really bad, I'm sorry. It really is. But the good part about it, and I'll get to it, the good part about Louisiana, and the thing that interests y'all, is compared to other states I've seen, the participation is nowhere near like what it is in Florida or Illinois. It is getting more competitive because more people are coming, but I do think there's opportunities. We still have sales that have properties that are unsold in Louisiana, in New Orleans, or in Caddo Parish. And I'll go around the state and talk about different parishes that I think are interesting. But there is opportunity here. It's not as competitive as some of the other places. The laws I know are a little bit different. It's a little bit of a hurdle to get over, but once you get it, it's an interesting opportunity for you as an investor. This is a slide I got talking about the post-redemptive period. As I said, we don't really deal with this, but this kind of helps you understand. It's a petition, the actual steps after the redemptive period. How do you take ownership in the property? What needs to get done? It is a petition to quiet title, and the interested parties then are noticed and given time to pay And it's basically 6 months if it's less than 5 years, and 60 days if it's post 5 years. That's the aspects of that. All right, so that's about the tax sale process. Any more questions on that? We could take questions after if you want. But tax deed, this is the thing. I don't know if you're following New Orleans. We are now in.
Family, it doesn't matter how these criminals want to slice or dice this whole presentation. They don't have the right. They never have the right. They could have never have the right to participate in this activity. They don't. They are only here and continue to be here because we have criminals in office. We have politicians in office. We have people here in office who only look for self and don't work or operate on behalf of the people, right? Who we talking about? We're talking about people like, we're talking about politicians like LaToya Cantrell. No love for the people in New Orleans. Never have, never did, never will. We're talking about people like Joe, what's this? Garoso. No love for the people, and this guy is also a member of the bar too. No love for the people in New Orleans. We're talking about this criminal right here. Jay Banks, never did, never will. We're talking about this other criminal right here, Christine Palmer. We're talking about this clown right here, Jared Brissett. We're talking about this other clown right here, Cindy Wynn. She's fast becoming, well, there was nothing new and fresh that she brought to District E. But she don't have no love nor no clue what it is to have love for the people of New Orleans East District E. This other clown, Jason Williams, this other clown, Elena Moreno. It's because of clowns like these, criminals like these, politicians like these, why we have a criminal enterprise like CivicSource here operating, and why we have so much homelessness here in Louisiana, here in New Orleans, because of these goddamn clowns. All these people, if it was my will and my will alone, I could just strike my magic wand, all these clowns would be back out there in the private sector trying to struggle like everybody else. And all the fame and glory would return to its rightful owner, we the people.
In the middle of about to launch next Wednesday is the first tax deed sale. They call it adjudication sales. Now what is that? So these are properties, as I said, that have gone to sale, and we have properties that do not sell. These properties have been at sale 5 years or greater and have not sold. At that point, the taxing authority has the ability to actually sell the property outright. So unlike you're not getting a return on investment, you're actually getting a deed. And we have our system and our partners, we have the ability to make sure that this is a fully legal sale, that you can have clear title, and we have title insurance being underwritten on these properties. So this is another investment tool that we're excited about. We've been doing it for a while in others at a smaller scale in other taxing authorities across the state, but now we're launching this in New Orleans and about to bring on some of the